Plus 39 last night, plus 119 across 3 games. 2 different opponents, 2 different defensive schemes, 1 Knicks offense. No team in NBA postseason history has ever stacked 3 straight playoff wins by 25 points or more. New York just did. 2 of those wins came in the closing games of round 1. The third came tonight against Philadelphia at Madison Square Garden. The combined margin sits at 119, the largest 3-game span the playoffs have ever recorded. Team effective field goal percentage on the night, 74.4, the 3rd highest single-game mark in NBA playoff history. The first number is a blowout. The second number is a record nobody has ever held. Let's start with the lever. Jalen Brunson scored 27 points in the first half, not the game, the first half. That is not a hot guard heating up. That is a workload Philadelphia's defense had to commit a help defender to on every Brunson pick and roll. The scheme they ran was a deep drop coverage. The big sat below the free throw line. The on-ball wing chased over the screen. The deep drop is supposed to take away the rim. It seeds the pull-up jumper and erases the layup. Against most lead guards, that math holds. The pull-up off the dribble is the 3rd hardest shot in basketball. The defense wins the volume. Brunson is not most lead guards. The deep drop did exactly what deep drops do. It conceded the pull-up. He cashed it. He scored 27 before halftime on a defense that gave him the cleanest version of the shot he wants. Now hold this in mind. The drop already paid once on the pull-up. The drop also has to commit help on the roll. So Philadelphia's scheme paid twice on every Brunson screen. Once on the screener, once on the kick-out lane behind him. Every help rotation pulled a defender off somebody else's jersey. The corner emptied. The weak side wing rotated up and left a shooter standing alone. The chalkboard the box score does not show is what happened to the player whose jersey just got abandoned. We will get to him. Team effective field goal percentage finished at 74.4, the 3rd highest single-game mark in NBA playoff history. That number is what happens when the lever pays twice on every screen. Now we go to the chalkboard. Watch what happens to the player whose corner just got abandoned. Brunson brings the ball over half. Karl-Anthony Towns sets a high pick at the top of the key. Philadelphia's drop big sinks below the free throw line. The on-ball chaser goes over the screen. 2 defenders just committed to Brunson and the screener. The weak side wing has to tag the roll. That leaves 3 Knicks shooters guarded by 2 Sixers defenders. The math is settled before the pass is thrown. Brunson kicks weak side. Mikal Bridges swings it to OG Anunoby in the strong side corner. Anunoby shoots from the corner with the closeout 1 step too late. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Karl-Anthony Towns. Combined line for the night, 21 of 29 from the field, 8 of 12 from 3. Read those numbers again. 21 of 29 from the field is 72.4%. 8 of 12 from 3 is 66.7%. 3 role players, 1 game, 12 combined 3-point attempts, 8 made. That is not 1 shooter heating up. That is 3 shooters at 60% or higher from the floor in the same playoff game, all built off the same trigger. A defense can rotate to 1 shooter. It cannot rotate to 3. The asymmetry is structural. The cascade is geometric. Brunson on a high pick and roll forces 2 defenders to commit. The deep drop concedes the pull-up. The weak side rotation empties the strong side corner. The kick-out leaves a shooter open. The 3 goes down. This is not 3 plays. This is 1 chain Philadelphia ran into 8 times. Team effective field goal lands at 74.4%, the 3rd highest single-game EFG in NBA playoff history. The chalkboard solved the math before the pass left Brunson's hands. Now zoom out. Game 1 in round 2, Knicks 137, Sixers 98, margin plus 39. Closing games of round 1, 2 consecutive Knicks wins, both by 25 points or more. 3 straight playoff games, 3 straight wins by 25 plus. Combined 3-game margin, 119 points. That is the largest 3-game span any team has ever produced in NBA playoff history. The first time any franchise has stacked 3 straight 25-plus playoff wins, ever. 2 of those games came against a different opponent. The team New York closed out at the end of round 1. The third came tonight against Philadelphia. Different roster, different defensive scheme, different rest schedule, same offensive output. Now the Steelman, everybody wants to hand the Knicks. Philadelphia just played 7 games in 2 weeks. Their bench is on fumes. Their closeouts are a half step late. New York caught a tired team on a hot night. The 8 of 12 from 3 regresses by Game 2. That argument has to explain something. The closing games of Round 1 used the same chain: Brunson Gravity, deep drop concession, weak side rotation, kick out 3. The shot menu hung on a different opponent in the round before. If the answer is Sixers fatigue, the Round 1 games do not exist. They do exist, both ended by 25 plus. 1 game is variance, 3 games against 2 opponents is a scheme. The chalkboard knows the difference. Twitter wants to call it Sixers fatigue. The chalkboard wants to know why the closing games of Round 1 looked exactly the same. So here is the verdict. The hypothesis was that Game 1 was not a Game 1. It was the 3rd consecutive playoff game New York's offense produced a margin no team in postseason history has ever stacked 3 deep. Brunson's first half gravity is the lever. The kick-out cascade to Anunoby Bridges Towns is the consequence. The streak across 2 opponents is the proof. The Steelman wants to live in fatigue. Philadelphia just finished a 7-game series. Their rotations are short. Their bench is on fumes. Their closeouts are a half step late by Game 1 of the next round. New York caught a tired team on a hot shooting night. The 74.4 EFG was a 3rd best ever mark for a reason. Those nights happen. The next one is somebody else's. The 8 of 12 from 3 regresses by Game 2. That argument has to explain 3 games, not 1. 2 of the 3 25-plus wins came against a different opponent in the round before, a team that had not just played a 7-game series, a team with a different defensive scheme, a different bench, a different rest schedule, same Brunson first-half scoring, same kick-out cascade to the same 3 shooters, same margin shape. If the answer is Sixers fatigue, the Round 1 games do not exist. They do. The streak is not what New York does to a tired team. It is what New York does to a defense that has to pick which Brunson rotation to commit to. Philadelphia picked the deep drop tonight. The round before, the prior opponent picked something else. Both gave up 25. The variable is not the defense. The variable is the offense's answer to whatever the defense brings. So the chalkboard collapses to 3 mechanisms. Zone 1. Brunson first half gravity, 27 points before halftime, forces help on every screen. Zone 2. The kick-out cascade, Anunoby plus Bridges plus Towns at 21 of 29 from the field, 8 of 12 from 3. Zone 3. The streak anchor, 3 straight playoff wins by 25 plus, 119-point combined margin, first in NBA postseason history. 3 mechanisms, 3 opponents worth of evidence, 1 offense. The chalkboard does not need a Game 2 to know what it just watched. It already wrote it down 3 times. Game 2 is at Madison Square Garden on Wednesday. Same building, 48 hours. Philadelphia gets to redraw a defense that nobody in NBA postseason history has redrawn fast enough to stop. The deep drop is burned. The hedge is the next obvious answer. The kickout is what punishes it. We will see whose chalk runs out first. Next episode of Chalk Tactics, we go inside the West Conference semifinals and ask which playoff defense has actually solved the high pick and roll. Until then,